Recently, I've been enjoying spending time outside alone, which is a big deal for me because I'm not used to going out without having someone to come with me. Because I get anxieties and I need someone who would be with me when ordering or even when asking for directions. Because if I'm alone, I would be not asking anybody anything at all and just go with the flow. But now I'm glad I'm slowly growing from it because the awkwardness now has lessened and I can finally do the things that I want and actually enjoy them. When I look back from who I was a year ago, I get surprised to see how far I've become, even if it's just a small thing. Last year, I couldn't even fall in line into restaurants, but now I can order for myself. Last year, I would rather get lost than ask for directions, but now I can. Like, it didn't kill me on just thinking about doing it back then. My point is, growth doesn't always look big or loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet changes you make. The little things you thought you'd never do but now come naturally. I've realized that these small wins matter just as much as the big milestones. They remind me that I am capable of changing, of becoming braver in my own pace, and maybe that's what life is really about. Learning to live more fully in the moments that once scared you, and finding joy in the freedom that comes after.
Like a boulevard, starting again until the end, but only when you're paying attention to them. And everyone was getting in, but you can't swim. And all the waves were crashing in. Don't you believe anything? No, I don't know where the money goes. Just as the river flows down the road, you don't owe them anything.
Also, I just want to share what I've been doing for the past month. I've been watching Gilmore Girls and I'm currently on season 5. And it's actually not bad, and I'm actually anticipating the book mentions and the witty dialogue references. And before I forget, I just wanna show you guys the updated version of my DIY Lois Carmen journal. Yes, I changed the thread back to black because it suits the maroon color more. And I added charms. They're all brand new. Hold on. There. So inside, I have put my photo in the front to just add some personality, and this notebook is for my book reviews and book thoughts. So yeah, It's all in there. So I write here either during or after I finished reading. And it's actually helpful because I tend to forget the things that I read, and having something to read back on is nice. The next one is, I actually don't have anything to call it, but maybe it's my commonplace book because I write everything that comes up in my mind, and I put stickers in front, and I just write anything. Yeah. And for the third notebook, it's my junk journal. I'll I guess I'll be doing a flip through soon, but here's a glimpse. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for my Luis Carmen. I'm actually struggling because it's really big and chunky. And I actually um made another DIY, but it's not done yet because I ran out of tools. But it's here. It's just a small one. I use this for my vocabulary. When I stumble upon a new word, I put it here to remember it. And of course, the books that I read last August. I actually read 4 books last month, and that was actually nice that I finished a lot of books because I typically just finish 1 or 2 per month. But last month, I was on a roll. So yeah. Starting off with Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. It is about siblings, but I actually thought Franny and Zoe are, a couple, but turns out they're not. So Franny is having a spiritual crisis, and I, I actually thought Franny is a guy and Zoe is a girl, but turns out it's the other way around. So it's about Franny's spiritual crisis and Zoe talking to her about it. And I don't know, their conversation is just like both intimate and philosophical. Because this book is purely on dialogue. There is no plot, which is rare for some books, but it's full of dialogues, and it's actually nice to be able to read this. Franny is a college student who suddenly breaks down and felt emptiness inside her, and she is trying to find something to fill the gap inside her through spirituality. And Zoe, her older brother, he tries to pull out Franny in her crisis in a blunt way, because he's actually a bit sharp and cynical, but he's actually caring. So yeah, that's why I said their conversation was both intimate and philosophical, because they talked about how to live honestly in this messed up world and their purpose in life. It just feels very human. Zoe's tough love actually made Franny a little bit better, and honestly, it made me feel better as well. Like I'm having the crisis, like he's talking to me. So, yeah, I recommend this one if you're into something personal or philosophical. It's both thoughtful and intimate, and their conversation has a mix of wisdom, pain, and humor that only the siblings can bring. The next one is Joan Didion's The Year of Magical Thinking, and it's a memoir about grief after suddenly losing her husband. And it's actually not a bad book because it was written with so much honesty and clarity. Like, it shows how it shows how the mind clings into routines and magical thoughts as coping mechanisms just to feel better. It's heartbreaking but also a beautiful read, and I recommend this as well if you like raw and heartbreaking books. So this next one is my only 5-star read last August, and it's Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. Well, I put this book off for a long time, and I finally finished it last month, and boy did I miss out so bad. So this is a thriller book. It's actually a true to life crime story. So this is about the Clutter family murder in Kansas. It happened around 1960s. What actually surprised me after researching some more information about this book is Capote really immersed himself in researching and gathering information about the murder of the Clutter family. So he traveled to Kansas with Harper Lee. Um, Based on my research, they were good friends, good childhood friends, and yeah, they went there together to um, interview witnesses, the townspeople, the police, and even the murderers themselves. But based on my observations, I think there are a lot of moments where Capote humanized Perry in a way that the few other true crime stories would dare. He actually portrayed Perry as a pitiable person and not as a murderer, not as a monster. In my opinion, I think if you read this book, you can tell that Capote had his eye on Perry, that Perry had lots and lots of um, POV than Dick, the other murderer. And I think what he did kind of worked on me as well, because I ended up pitying Perry as well, even though he's a monster, he's a murderer, and we got so little of Dick's life that we ended up not knowing anything about him and not knowing anything about his background, his reasons, his roots. So yeah, not learning so much about Dick's life made me a bit confused about his life. But on the last part where they were caught and they were being hanged, Dick said, Dick said something that um I couldn't forget. It was something like, in that brief moment, he was oddly calm, and it actually showed a different side of him. But yeah, I did not get the same emotional access as I did with Perry's POV. Like, there's no childhood memories that lingered on my mind with Dick's. But overall, it was really an engaging book. Although it was quite slow at first, that's why maybe I ended up abandoning it for like a couple of months. But yeah, I'm so glad to have picked it up again and finally finished it because it's really a good book and it's only my 5-star review for that month.